just us four hanging out.
obviously. So if I do
Just
say
us four.
something, I mean
Crude
it as
moving north.
conflict. The question is,
Yep.
being able to execute it is always a different story. We know that all the time. It's easier to call a trade out than it is to actually execute it. Last night I took a loss on gold in my live account. I've been trading my live account more frequently on slow markets. Right now, I'm in just a sim, watching these markets, seeing if there's a good setup. I'll make the switch back again. This market's just really choppy, and I'm not too excited to just jump
ES
in
selling off.
and put risk in this kind of a market right now.
ES might want to lead the way here. ES tried making a run for the low. Jack, I know you saw that. It's just pulling teeth to keep making lows here. 62.71 half just traded. While we see the
Mhm.
NASDAQ catching a bit. ES selling off just a smidge. Dow grinding lower. We saw oil just sell off there a little bit as well, talking about 20 cent. Push the downside. Last trade in oil 63 or sorry 67.62, but right now ES maybe the leader to the downside, trading 62 and 69 halves just traded. Nasdaq a little bit more stubborn to follow.
Yeah, we're holding below the 900 now, so
Yes, we are.
wonder if we get follow through.
Else still moving here. Gold. Gold grinding lower here, Jay. And Jay short 2 Michael Gold from 33.31 even. Last trade
I'm down on one,
33. Nice.
but I'm holding that one for to hopefully take out yesterday's low. That's the target on that last one. It put me up on the day. Uh, I don't want to trade my P&L, but it would make me green on the
Oh
day,
man.
and I think we still got some room.
No, we don't
Ooh,
trade
there
our
we go.
P&L. Who doesn't trade their P&L? I mean, I don't. Obviously, it's
There we
easier
go.
said than done.
There's some nice selling.
Look
Yep,
at that
selling off.
short.
Gold selling new lows. Hogue said it beneath 33.27. He likes the short. The value low. And Hogue, we're seeing that play out right now. 33.19's just printed in gold. When we got beneath 33.27, just like you said, the more sellers came in. The market essentially accepted lower prices due
Yeah.
to acceptance beneath
So it's
value.
back in value from yesterday. Value low is pretty much the low of the day from yesterday. So we accept back inside value in gold. Jay, I love your target.
Mm.
I accidentally just closed out of that trade.
All right, turn around. Please go higher. Please go higher. Come on, Gold. Turn around. Come on, Mario. Come on, Gold. Just go higher now. We got this. What price did you cover, Jay?
Pretty much right here, right now. So I'm back in the green. Plus 62 cents on the day. We started down 260
Yeah,
bucks, so nice trade.
love it.
Nice.
And we'll find another opportunity. The
Wow,
S&P
Gold.
looks like it wants to start going.
Come on, Gold rally. Make Jay feel
Yeah,
better.
right.
Uh,
Call the low.
Yep, yes. Grind lower. All right, NASDAQ really struggling to get beneath these 22,880s. Looks like it might do it this time as ES is going to be leading the way to the downside here. Question
Nasdaq
mark?
might follow. Hey, here's a good
There we go.
example of Nasdaq and gold go in the same
Here we
direction,
go.
Jay, that we were talking about last night.
Yeah. Yeah, that inverse correlation is not really there.
Yeah, exactly.
Jack, you think we get 62.50s here?
Be
Think
fun.
so.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah.
Trying to stay patient on that. When it slows down a
I
little
hear
bit,
you.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go deeper into this. There's some interesting, more so than the actual case about Jane Street. There are some things about it that kind of live in my head right now.
Yeah. South Sudan and arms runner, man. That's living in my head rent free right now.
Well, I've been thinking a lot about um like Robinhood earnings report and how
Ooh.
much of their money is being made from options and crypto and how
Yep.
much like worldwide the option market has exploded. We're selling off right now, so we'll wait a little bit then,
Yep.
but then I will show you what's going on in India that's startled me.
What's
Interesting.
going on in
Okay. Yeah.
India?
We got 73% short now. We're seeing some tilts are swinging here. 73% short in NASDAQ as we trade 22,867. ES leading the way down. Just printed this new low 62.66 with 71% short. on the way down here. Got some sellers coming in. Nasdaq a little bit more reluctant to follow the ES. Kind of like pulling teeth. Like I was talking about that crude. Crude did sell off about 20 cents, right back up. 67.77 last trade in crude oil.
Mm.
Gold
We're not
last
really
trade
seeing like
33.
that breakdown we usually see when there's selling pressure, Andre, where we say
Yeah.
stair step up and then elevator down. This isn't much of an elevator down. We're kind of just slowly chop and then break down a little bit, slowly chop and then break down a little bit. I wonder if we're going to do this till we get down to those 820s, 830s.
Here,
It was
Dakota.
similar yesterday, right? Where the Nasdaq, everything else sold off. The Dow, S&P, the Russell all sold, and the Nasdaq stayed in that first hour range for almost 3 hours before it decided to sell off. I don't know why
Yeah.
it's so stubborn right now, but
And
Wait,
I mean, the
S&P is
elevator
overnight
definitely leaving
low,
us lower.
the overnight low is still down to like, what, 808s?
Yep.
You know, it's
So
an
we still
heartbreak.
have a way to get there, a ways to get there.
That was for you, Jay. All
What,
right.
what is it? What is
We
it you
still
say,
got
Andre? You say love the man, hate his music.
separate the art from the artist.
There you go.
Pretty much same thing. Gold new low is 33.17, but yes, you caught that right. 808s and heartbreak. I like it. We'll see if which equity market wants to go lower first. They all very, very stubborn right now. That being said, it's Tuesday. Those that are just tuning in, we do a tip of the week every week here at Top Step and Top Step TV. That being said, what is this week's? Oh, yes, yes, yes. Cut losses quickly. Very, very important. This is what keeps you alive in the game. Exit losing trades fast. It's okay to be wrong. If you're going to be wrong quickly. Don't hope for reversals, man. I've been there. It's a scary place to
Where's
be.
Baron at? Is he gonna remember
Follow
this come
stop,
Thursday?
follow stop loss rules. No exceptions there. Have stops, follow stop loss rules. Always trade for tomorrow. It's about survival. This game is all about longevity. The longer you're in this game, the money takes care of itself. How do you stay in this game longer? Managing your downside, cutting your losses quickly. Coach Jay, we talked about this at dinner, and we kind of joking me about stop position, but cutting losses quickly. What like, have you ever not cut your losses quickly? How we see
Oh yeah,
people hit their
for sure.
DLLs. Is that essentially people not cutting their losses quickly, just being stubborn, saying, "Damn it, damn it
Yeah,
with
just
this."
not accepting that you're wrong on a trade. And I think we do so much work to get to the point where we're making a trading decision that we don't truly want to accept that you're wrong on that idea because sometimes it hits your ego or whatever it is. But you got to understand that no trading strategy is 100%. So you know accept that you're wrong this time to give yourself the opportunity to execute the next time where it could be a winning trade. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. I think, and again, part of the reason you're going to see me continue to scan multiple markets is because, again, if I put everything on one horse and that horse breaks his leg before the race,
Blue
then
Factory.
exactly. So, but yeah, it's a tough thing to do, but we have to do it. We have to accept it.
I mean,
Also,
gold's still selling off here. Cutting your losses quickly, absolutely. It's inevitable. Sometimes you're gonna second guess yourself and get in your own head. Oh, if I only had a wider stop, it's okay. At least you still have, more guns in the chamber. You got more ammo for that next trade. Live to trade for tomorrow. Live to fight another day. It's the name of this game. 4,200 people watching all across the globe. Click like, click subscribe, click notify if you'd be so kind. Thanks for tuning in to Top Step TV on this Tuesday. It's our going wild, but there has been moving. We saw Jay take a nice short to the downside here in gold. Dakota being very, very patient. Guns in the
Just
chamber.
watching
Bullets in the
Nasdaq.
chamber. Did I say guns in the chamber, PD? Yes, I meant bullets in the chamber. I say a lot of words around here. Thank you for picking up on that. What would I do without the chat? You guys are the absolute best. What's up, Dakota?
blessings,
You
looking
want to get
heavy.
short? I can feel it.
Yeah,
Dakota,
I
I can feel
do,
it.
but I mean, chasing is a different beast, right? Even though that I can see this market getting to 830s, just wait for a setup. This market's not as clean as what I'd like. I like that gold short, Jay. Obviously, with the power of hindsight, would love to have got short on that breakdown when I was first thinking of it. Just a little bit slow to pull the trigger, and we watch. We still have a long ways to go. Still, patience.
Oh, yes. Yes, to do. On the hour in about 19 minutes. We're going to high alert around here for any headlines in reference to trade deals. And the president of the United States did have dinner with Israel Prime Minister President Netanyahu last night. There were some comments from there. We will discuss. I also have some. You gotta hear this one. Got a hell of a soundbite from Navarro. We'll bring up. We'll bring it here at some point today. But president has his peeps on the corporate line here. They are all in line with their thoughts on Jerome Powell. I'll bring that to you here in a little bit. We've seen crude move a little higher here. $67.94, about 5 cents from the overnight highs. 67.99. Jack, we got 80% long in crude, by the way. Look at that.
We do.
Average price
I'll give
67.
your vocal
74.
cords a break. Let's
Say
go
a
through
lot
the
of
Jane
words.
Street stuff real quick.
You
Sound
got
good?
to. You're hit. Yeah.
Okay.
You got this. You got
For
something here.
those
Yeah.
of you that don't know, Jane Street got banned from trading in the Indian option market, maybe the equities too. They're challenging it, saying it was a basic arbitrage. Here's where things get interesting. Okay. This is a little dense, but I'll just cover the points in this next slide here. On some days, the Indian options market is 353 times bigger than the Indian stock market.
Really?
Wow.
Yes, the
Wow.
Why?
options
What
are
does that? What does that
much
tell you?
more
What does that tell you?
liquid. Well, it has to do with what I kind of worry about. This reminds me a
Manipulation.
little like 2008ish, where you
Distortion.
have so many derivatives attached to something so much smaller. People like action is what it comes down to. It's the same thing I think about Robinhood. These are the Indian retail option market has absolutely exploded. And
Incredible.
whether I don't know enough about it, I've read both sides as far as whether it was just a classic arbitrage or market manipulation. But basically, Jane Street, made about $4 billion directly from essentially Indian retail option traders.
Yo.
Here's how it works. This is the problem. When you have that many options tied to something that's illiquid and easy to move, and you have a place like Jane Street that can move it easy enough, let's go to the
Yeah.
next slide.
Yeah.
It's a real
Yeah,
simple
I agree.
trade, but here's how it works. They went in and just bought a ton of the Nifty banking index, able to move it, then sold a ton of expensive calls, bought cheap puts, and then in the afternoon, they just sold the index and brought it back down and made a killing.
Love this.
All right.
I love this diagram.
If
Hold on,
you're
yeah.
trading, yeah,
Stick figures.
if
Sorry. Oh, there's stick figures. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, this was the easiest way I could see to find it. Um,
I love it.
this is why I think people in general they're trading options. You have to be careful about the liquidity and size of the underlying you're trading it on, right? If it can be easily moved, like it's crazy to have 353 times the options activity compared to the underlying. And that's why I've long said I feel like options are everything that moves the market right now. But there are some opportunities to really get hosed there when you can just move the underlying price wherever you want.
Yeah.
So this happened in
Wow.
India where it's a little different. I believe their options are cash settled, which lays into this too. But for those of you that trade options out there, be careful about the open interest. Be careful about the size of the market and the underlying you're trading on. Jane Street is saying that they just saw a pricing difference and brought it back together. So
Huh.
we'll see what happens there. But for now, Jane
Pricing
Street
difference
has been banned.
between
Good band,
That's
man.
insane. Talk about leverage. They seen a pricing difference between their position and the P&L. So they had to adjust it.
Delta. Yeah, that's I love that.
Wow.
Well, yeah,
Well, it's
wow.
kind of sad, and there's just too many people out there gambling on options when,
Yeah.
whether it's rigged or not is kind of in the eye of the beholder. They're just kind of doing what traders do. They're saying, well, we can push this
Yeah.
higher and make money. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't. Is it evil?
It's not gonna
Maybe.
work out
Is
well.
it illegal?
Who's-
Probably not.
Well, I
Probably
mean,
not.
I love it. I love that.
So this is kind of like when we talk about option pinning, which I especially look at during, Power Hour on Friday. Yes,
Yes.
market makers, and it's not always like nefarious. It's just what ends up happening when they hedge their positions. But that's why these option levels get sticky in the SPX because there are certain prices that are beneficial for close at for market makers.
Jack,
What did you
that
383 times? I love it.
yeah, I was just gonna ask that. 300, it was 353 times bigger
Three
than the
times
stock
bigger
market.
What
than the
is that?
underlying.
What
Than the
is
under.
that?
Do you know in comparison, like some of the stocks we trade here, what that because the options market has definitely grown right over the past couple of years. Is it's nowhere
I
close
can
to that, obviously, but
I can look it up. I mean, part of the difference
okay.
is that our like you have to take delivery on our options, which caught like
Mm,
almost is the opposite thing. Where if you have a ton of options, like call options on U.S. stocks, you can get sort of like a gamma ramp or a squeeze. Um,
right.
I bet it's got to be way lower than that. But where I would be nervous is there's a lot of these sort of small stocks by market cap that
Yeah.
have a ton of options on them. So
Mm, yeah.
That's incredible.
Again, you don't have
Three hundred
yeah,
eighty.
to fill out a 10% form if you own it in options because you could own more in options than you do basically the stock. It sounds like in that India.
383 times in there.
Yeah, three.
oh,
I'm messing. Yeah, 100%.
one last thing that's kind of amusing about this. So, a couple of traders at Jane Street kind of figured out this trade, and it was kind of they were keeping it super secret because like, wow, this is really simple and it works. And they got poached by Millennium, right?
Oh,
And then I think Jane Street sued Millennium for them doing it.
love it.
And the court transcripts are hilarious because in the lawsuit, they don't want to say anything about the trade. The country name is redacted, and the only
No.
reason we knew it was India is the lawyers on 2 occasions accidentally said options in India and then like immediately tried to correct themselves.
Did they redact it because they didn't want to give out the playbook or the trade strategy? Or
They didn't want to give away anything about the strategy or where it was. They just said in some country, blah blah blah.
country
Crazy.
with the second highest population on the planet. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And then the
Good
lawyer
Makes me
stuff,
spews
miss
Jack.
out these options in
Uh,
West,
India. Oh,
yeah.
I'm a
Come
terrible
on,
lawyer.
lawyer. Jack is like a
makes me
dog with
miss
a
the
bone on that.
GameStop days. Westy says GameStop back in the day. I remember market opened up and everyone was just buying whatever the highest strike price there was.
Mm-hmm.
It just
And then what you get.
Yeah.
Robinhood
The
turned
difference
off.
is the cash settlement. I mean, it's
Mhm.
different, like when you have a set number of shares float with something like GameStop, theoretically that could have gone stratospheric if everybody took delivery. Um, but yeah, maybe India
everyone
should
had.
just settle it differently, and then they won't have this problem.
I've been corrected in the chat here. Power user Z says Andre, not the second most populous country. India is #1 since year plus. Since year plus. Okay, yeah. Well, there you go. Did not know that. Thank you for the correction. There you go. The more you know. But Jack, good stuff with Jane Street. And then the other founder was Sling Guns in South Sudan. I cannot get over what's going on.
That's your typical prop.
Yeah, and soon. Less talking, more trading, says Sonny. Sonny, what kind of trades you got? Hit us up with some trade
Gold
ideas. Let's take a
is
look at these
selling
markets.
off.
22. Yeah, what a gold is. So Jay's watching gold. He's like, why did I why did I get out of
Gold's
that?
been the market, man. Yesterday and then again
Has
today.
been.
Gold has been the market. Oil just tapped on some new highs, $68.07 for that Texas tea. Look at the NASDAQ, 22,888 last trade. I'm out at 866. Is this gonna be stair step lower? One of those rare days where we stair step. Well, not rare. Hell, the first 3-4 months of this year were stair step lower, grind lower. That was interesting, but we might be seeing that play out here in the Nasdaq as it wants to go lower, but it's like first try, second try, you get stopped out, and third try, the third time the charm here. ES. Who's gonna move first? Nasdaq, ES, ES, Nasdaq. Stay tuned to find out. We got UG in the chat. This effing market is effing everywhere. I know. Hey, stay grind, stay in line. This is what cut your losses early. This is what the tip of the week was. Cut your losses early. Keep them small. It's okay to be wrong. Just be wrong quick. That being said, we're going to see who wasn't wrong quick yesterday. Some top 5 P&Ls and payouts. Well, man, JD, JD, come on in here. Happy Tuesday, my friend.
What is up there, guys? All right, we've got a handful of traders here who did catch the right side of the market yesterday. All of these traders were trading the NASDAQ. Well, actually, with the exception of one who was trading the micro NASDAQ. So they were in the NASDAQ market in some form or another. Here are your top 5 live funded P&Ls from yesterday. At the top, our old friend Nato Trades. Nato has been around for a long time. They've made this list probably a dozen times in the last year and a half. Nato Trades coming out of the USA.
Order filled.
$10,783 trading the NASDAQ yesterday. That is our P&L leader from yesterday. Caught a nice chunk of that move to the downside. Joaquin from Norway, $8,612, also trading the NASDAQ. Scott K, also been around for a while. Scott K spent some time on our big board also. $6,725 coming out of the USA, trading the MNQ. Scott was our lone MNQ trader out of all 5 of these live funded traders. Alfredo from Portugal, trading the NQ, also 6,433, and Catherine Y from the US of A, $6,410, trading the Nasdaq. A couple international traders and 3 traders from the US. I think yesterday we had 4 international traders on this list, only 1 trader from the US, so we're spreading it out. Norway and Portugal were a couple of big winners in the live markets yesterday. All right, here are your top 5 live funded payouts from yesterday. Here's some more pro ball trading. Pro ball traders, I should say, taking line in their pockets with that hard earned money from the live accounts. Nietzsche from Israel, $25,500 payout. Juan from South Korea, $9,500. Delano from the US, $4,732. Mai from Japan, $4,000. And Hector from the US, $2,000. Another nice spread of international and local traders here. Israel, South Korea, Japan, and the United States taking home the big dough. These are live funded traders lying in their pockets with real money that they've earned in the real live markets. Pro ball traders, each and every one of them. All right, guys, that is it. I'll be back with some hot streaks in just a little bit and a little gift for Dakota when we come back.
Wow.
A
Oh,
gift for me.
gift for Dakota. Oh, what did Dakota
Comes
do to
that,
deserve a gift? Yeah.
Do I
Gold.
deserve a gift?
Jay.
bro?
Always, of course. He knew it was gonna. Ooh, stops went off there. New lows just tapped on the Nasdaq 22,863. Jay, we're just gonna. This is just a grind lower, stair step lower as we see it play out here. Dow also made new lows. ES made new lows, and Nasdaq, and of course Jay's favorite market right now, gold, making new lows as well. All right, sellers are in the house here in the Nasdaq. Dakota 22,860. The 5/8 just traded.
I
Jack, we're
mean,
closing in on those 6250. What's up, Dakota?
803s.
amazing trade, Jay. Like, I thought my gold trade from yesterday. I mean, it's stair stepped up, and then here's gold elevator down, and are you in a short still, or did
I'm
you?
flat. No, I
Oh, you
accidentally
didn't get
closed that
back
trade.
in. Well,
No, I didn't
it's
take
doing
it.
what you wanted
I
it.
didn't want to chase it. It's doing exactly what I wanted to do. So the target on this trade was yesterday's low, 33.0470. Uh, it looks like it's going right there. Right? You look at this daily chart, and gold has been a market that's in this range. We started off yesterday towards the lower end of this range, and that's why your long trade was so good because there's 50-point ranges available on this market. Uh, just got to be in the right location.
Yeah,
We'll
and
find another one. Nasdaq's still selling off.
Nasdaq's still enough. Nasdaq might just go to those 820s, 830s. It's just taking its time. It's not like the gold move. Gold is that elevator
Right.
down that we like to see on the short side. Nasdaq is taking its time, getting a little bit more momentum now.
See,
Come,
hurry up your way
microtees.
every time. Yeah, every time we sell off, it sells off in these, Nasdaq ES. It does retrace. Moving your stop to break even, you're going to see a lot of getting stopped out. Unless you're cutting your you're managing your downside. It's just grind lower, grind lower. It is starting to show a trend though. Look at the 5 minute, at least in the Nasdaq more than the ES. Right. Oh, Jay, I want to throw it to you. Volume. You're my volume guy. Volume shooter, like AI. How much volume? What's the volume looking like in ES or Nasdaq? To this
So
move to the downside.
The Nasdaq order book is extremely thin. Somebody called it out in the chat earlier. I don't see anything more than a 20 lot within 10 prices right now. Uh, the volume that's trading right now, it's okay. It's really not a lot to look at. It's just kind of average. I think we saw the same thing yesterday where we got these slow movements and then all of a sudden we have this huge volume spike out of nowhere, and then the market start to go. But it's just about average right now.
Mm.
Okay.
Feels like
The reason
summer.
I ask. The reason I ask is, we're seeing these kind of moving lower, but with on the light volume, you see it right every time you sell, it comes right back. It comes right back. So
Right.
there is a trend, if you want to call it. It's just you gotta be patient. And we had Mandy on yesterday, the Salt Lake City Sniper in Power Hour, and
Mm.
she's getting the trades, and she's getting a bit impatient. A 12-minute trade for her feels like a lifetime, an eternity, based on how she trades. It's kind of what we're seeing. It's just this is what the velocity, the pace of the market, the flow of the market is. Trades are going to play out a little slower than you're used to, unless you're Jay getting short from 331, 33.31, and just like that, we're trading 33.24s. That's a good one right there, Jay.
Yeah, it was, man.
But he got out. That was a nice trade.
Uh,
I like the patient.
Andre, I like your go-to volume shooter is AI. Kind of
Who else
Kobe
would it be?
erasure. He's Kobe. Kobe
Kobe?
is the gold standard of volume shooting.
Yeah, he was both those two. Yes. What is it? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Michael Scott or something.
J.R. Smith.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know what my favorite J.R. Smith stat that I saw during some Knicks playoff series. We all know J.R. Smith likes to party a little bit, and they showed the statistical difference between like a normal night game versus a early game on a Saturday, and he was noticeably
Yeah.
worse in the early Saturday
Locked
game.
in. Locked in. He's more of a night owl.
in.
Is what they're saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm.
Antoine Walker. Antoine, why you shoot so many 3-pointers? Because there's no such thing as a 4-pointer. One of my favorite quotes ever. Incredible. So good. So you see him around Chicago every now and then. Let's take a look at these prices. All right, Dakota. Yeah, you took the short
Nothing for
in
me
the
still.
end.
This is
Yeah,
not
nothing.
the best
Absolutely.
price action.
Not the best price. What do you say? Not the best. It's not what we're accustomed to in comparison to the last few weeks or months. It's price action is price action. Bad price action is if the price doesn't move. And that's. But with that being said, we get the breakout. We're watching, and it feels like, oh, this is boring. But it's not. It's gathering information. You don't have to be necessarily locked in on the screen. You should be sitting down at your desk, though. Tuning into Top Step TV, hanging out with the guys and gals here. It's all right. The market's been in a holding pattern, in value, in range, point of control. Well, it's not going to stay there forever. So you watch the delta, you watch the tilt, and then if we break out, you know which side is caught off size. In the pits, you always hear, what are locals? Are they long or are they short? Especially when markets are trading a little quiet. Markets are quiet. But then when the breakout happens, everyone that's been building, there's positions building while we're trading sideways, barcoding. Positions are building. And one side's going to be wrong. And when they're wrong, they're going to be very, very wrong. Like, look at this. All those shorts that are trying to catch the move to the downside here, they're taking heat right now. We're seeing it on the tilt, 50-50 on the tilt. So just because we're in a holding pattern doesn't mean something can and will happen. It's just you got to be ready for it. It's on us to not get lulled to sleep with things
Correct.
like that.
And understanding what's reasonable, right? Like 10 points in this market is perfect in the way that I view it. Looking for 40-point moves, that's just not here. It was probably here back in April, May, but not in this market.
are we starting a 3-bar reversal here, Dakota, on the 5-minute?
What's a 3-bar
What chart?
reversal?
On gold?
Nasdaq.
I'm not even going to entertain any reversal bars, to be honest. You can technically say that was a 3-bar reversal down at 875. Yes, Coach Jay. But it's just very hard when the market's not so clean. There's a lot of wicks, and so it's hard to trust it. But yes, technically, 875 was a 3-bar reversal after we bounced off those 850s. We are seeing quite a bit of buyers stepping in. It's just I don't like when the market's so wicky. Is that the word?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Hoag's gonna say failed downside auction. Give me thumbs up, Hoag's gonna say failed downside auction. So there you go. Shorts. No, get Hogan here. He's giving me thumbs down. Andrew, get Hogan here. He just denied me. You gave me the Dikembe.
Happened
Get
too early.
Hogue. Thumbs down. What was that? What you guys didn't see that behind the
There
scenes.
is no failed
Hogue gave me-
downside auction.
What are you
The
told?
initial
I see the
balance.
market.
The initial balance did not get extended below.
What did,
Think
okay,
about
what did
that.
we have to get beneath? What did we have to get beneath for there to be a failed downside auction? Because Hogue looks like the sellers are getting faced right now. We were trading at 22,860.
They
We're right back up to
are.
22.
They are, but technically it's not a failed downside auction. Here, look at the NASDAQ. So the initial balance low, the range for the first hour, 22,849, it never extended below it and rejected. So that's technically not a failed downside auction.
Oh, okay. Hogue, can you also replay the thumbs down you gave me before you came on? I said, Hogue, failed downside auction. What was? Nope. Look at that. Hogue's a bachelor right now. Look at Hogue flexing on me. Hogue's house. Is the boss still away, Hogue?
Oh yeah, she's picking her up tomorrow night about 8 o'clock. O'Hare.
Man, Hogue. All right, so
One more night.
Hogue's the boss. Yes, Hogue's house. All right, so Hogue, I know we're goofing around a little bit. It is okay. So was it a 3-bar reversal then? Yes, obviously in hindsight, yes, it was. Obviously, it
Could
was.
say
We did.
yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
back up to above 22,900 now, not 22,909. Dakota the shorts. But sometimes the best trade is the one you don't take.
Yes. Yep. No position is a position.
Mhm. Man, Hogue with an aggressive thumbs down. I love it, man. Hey, you're correct, man. I've learned a couple things. Not a failed downside auction, and in range, 70% of the time, 70% of the time or price. Good stuff.
All roads.
Hogue, if you look at your profiles, did we just close the price gap and bounce? Is that what happened? Regular trading hour price gap. Because I'm looking at my charts now, and I have it just set to regular trading hours, and that looks like exactly what we did. We closed the gap
In what market?
in the Nasdaq. I'm looking at the Nasdaq.
NASDAQ? I mean, like overnight gap, yes. But
Okay.
I mean, we're still inside the range from yesterday in the Nasdaq and in the S&Ps. We just looked below value, rejected below value. Now it looks like we're headed to the other side. Now let's see if we can leave a failed upside auction above the IB high, and then we'll see a rotation back to the IB low. If we miss this move, there's always something else. But value high on this let's see what Top Step has. So we opened at value high according to Top Step levels. We just traded through value to value low. Look at this. Yesterday's value area low. We just traded. So we span the entire value area from yesterday, and we haven't accepted outside either side of it. Now we've got the initial balance at those levels as well. Important to inflection levels or reference levels, but you got to see how the market treats them. It's just weird. You got the 50 session, 100 session, and 200 session moving average inside today's session range. That just says to me, chop. But there has been some good opportunity. That low there that was just put in, we couldn't take out the initial balance low here right before it established. I mean, that was a pretty cheap trade.
851 was the level Hogue was talking about. Trade indeed. Let's take a look at these Martin. Man, those shorts. Whoosh, got caught short down there. Look, okay. It looked like we were trending lower. Nope. Alex came in and said not so fast, because remember I was asking Jay, what's volume look like on the sell-off? He said not so great. And the reason he asked is something just like this to happen. Again, we bottomed out at 22,849. And 7 minutes later, we were trading 22,922. Gold hovering around the lows, 33.10 last trade there, about a buck off the lows. Crude oil just printed some new highs, $68.09, so about 2 cents off of that. And ES followed suit with the Nasdaq, about a 15-point pop there when we bottomed out at 62.63. We're now trading 62.79, 62.79 on Top Step X. You heard Hogue talking about Top Step X. We're all about, just cut your losses, cut your losses. All about protecting your downside. Live to trade another day. Live to fight for tomorrow. Well, as we're doing here at Top Step X, constantly working with the trader to indeed keep you alive, survive, longevity. So, with that being said, we released another feature this week. I'm bringing my man Gabe. Gabe,
Ooh.
tell the peeps what we did.
Oh man, we did something that a lot of people have been asking for. We continuously are keeping an eye on the feedback that we are getting from our traders, and we have released a additional daily risk lock feature with contract limits. So of course you are very used to seeing the personal daily loss limit, the profit target, the symbol blocking, the trade limits, and now, as MP promised, we have released contract limits. Now, contract limits are just great if you find yourself being tempted to oversize. I think that that's something that we've all struggled with at some point in our trading career, and it may surface still to this day. And if it does, this is a great tool to prevent yourself from potentially going on tilt and trying to revenge trade, putting a certain amount of, maybe a red day back, and you're increasing your size to do that a little quicker. That might be a temptation for you. I know that's something that I've struggled with in the past. But now you have a tool that's built in to help you stay away from running into that scenario and being more consistent in developing that just process of sticking to a position size that you're comfortable with, that your accounts can support. So let me show you a little bit around the platform and where to find this. It's going to be that gear wheel that you're so commonly used to going to for all of your other risk settings. You notice that it's going to be scrolling down beneath symbol blocking. You'll see contract limits. Now I've got this 150K combine. It says the max position size is 15 minis or 150 micros. And I'm going to go in and type in a symbol that I want to go ahead and set a limit for. So let me just say I wanted to go to NQ, and I'm going to set a limit for 2 contracts. I'm going to go ahead and add that limit. It now drops down underneath in the current contract limits. Let me go to MNQ and match that 2 with 20 MNQ, which would correlate with that 2 minis. And you could do that with as many products as you would like. All you're going to do when you're done setting your contract limits, feel free to hit that save button at the bottom. Settings have been saved. And then what you want to do in addition to that is lock out your risk settings for the day. Now, the feedback that I received in chat yesterday, I actually went to the team directly and asked if I hit this little lock for today, you notice that this little yellow box is just kind of overlaying some of the above features. So it kind of cuts off right at the bottom of symbol blocks. It's just more of a visual thing that they're working on fixing, but all the functionality is you cannot change it. So if I went to try to delete this or remove it, even though it's not inside of that visual box, it's going to tell me if I try to delete that and hit save, it's going to block an error on the bottom left and say, hey, risk settings are locked out. You cannot remove that limit that you've set. So for those that were mentioning or letting us know that, hey, you can still change these items, you cannot. It's just the fact that these items are needing to be tucked into that box. So but we appreciate your feedback and your willingness to go test out these new tools for us. We're very excited to release this, and we hope this is something that you implement into your process and maybe hopefully turn you into a better trader, 1% better every day. That's what I got for you. Back to you, Dre.
Thank you, Gabe. Good stuff. Gabe, you're very good at those demos.
I am long a 1 lot in the Dow.
My guy.
Ooh, okay.
That's my guy. What do you got, Jay? What?
44,644. I'm long a 1 lot. Risking about $300 here.
644. All right. 1 gold trade, 1 winner. Dow trade. What caught your eye?
We kind of failed to sell off just like we did in the other equities.
Fair enough.
Let's see. Hopefully the Dow doesn't get stuck in the mud here. Everything else is kind of moving to the upside. Looking to play catch up. Price per tick on the Dow in the chat. It's $5.
See the Dow lagging behind. Yes, Sony. I'm having mofo. Shout out to Eddie. Mofo. Shout out to Eddie. I think I need to be back soon, but yes. Shout out to Eddie. I see. Let's take a look. I'll a bone here. YM tilt. 60% long.
Oh, looking great. 60% long.
We'll see. Yeah. See that back here. Let's take a look. Gold grinding lower. 33.09. What did we bottom? Oh, what did we bottom out in gold yesterday? What was the lows yesterday? Because I know it's just up and to the right. I think we tapped 33.50s. in gold or to the upside in gold. But
Wow.
what was the low yesterday? And I know you
The
like the shorts.
the session low,
Yeah, session low.
3309.60. 3309.60. The overnight low, 3304.40.
Oh, 4. Okay, so pretty much right here. When you
Yeah.
you've been reading gold quite well. And your baby, the first 7
Yeah,
months
since
of
And I'm
yeah,
out of
since the
that trade.
beginning of the year, it's been to me a really readable market, largely due to open interest, especially at the beginning of the year.
yes.
We saw just open interest piling in, and every day against negative delta and higher pricing.
Ooh,
That tells you that there's big buyers there.
Mm.
it was. So, did we get above 3,500 an ounce? I think we did. All-time highs. Gold continued to break here.
Yeah, we did.
3305 last. Yeah. 3304 is now trade in gold. Gold is selling off. Dow is selling off. ES, NASDAQ might be in a bit of a range.
A little bit.
Who got short
A little bit.
Who got? Yeah, we 933s. Hogue, was that your level 22,933 in the Nasdaq? How about it around 943? I do believe. Why do I have value high, value low? I do believe you have
Yeah, 939 is value high
9. Thank you.
from yesterday.
Thank you. Value high and 851 value low. Thank you, Hogue.
Yes.
Hogue locked in today. No distractions at the house. Bachelor pad, man. Just sitting there putting charting. I can only see Hogue in the lab cooking up chicken bones. What do you say? Chicken bones and tea leaves?
Chicken
Use that. I
bones
haven't
and
heard
tea
that one.
leaves.
I haven't heard that one in a while.
Just,
How do you get your levels?
just me and my trusty dog Lacey hanging out here.
Doug Lacey. That chicken bones and tea leaves also 50 years of experience and father before that. It was a family business, just like JD. So what separates us from the rest of them. This is our experience levels are unmatched all across the globe. 50 years in the family. Father before that, call it 100 years, all said and done. Jack, his father as well. They've seen a thing or two. Hoop as well. They've
Love
seen
it.
a thing or two. That's what we bring here.
Well, from the trading pits, not the ball pits.
What
about my father? I missed that.
No, I said JD. Your
Oh, I
father
was
a
gonna say
physician.
my father has never made a financial transaction in his life.
Ever?
He's still
That's
very much he's like a guy that goes to the bank every Monday and gets the cash he needs for the week.
Jack, you ruined the clip.
Oh,
I
you
ruined a
stepped on his
clip?
joke. Ball pit to the pits.
Oh
Yeah,
no!
have you
I'm
ever heard
sorry.
that one
Just say
before?
it again.
You
It'll
seen
be
that?
just as good.
I have.
Come on,
I
where are
have
you at,
not.
Robin Hood? Where are you
I
at?
have not. Ball pit to the pits. Like Child's Play.
Yeah.
You talking about the kiddies that play in the
Yeah,
ball
not
pits
the
there,
ball
Dakota?
pits. What's
I
that?
got you. Ball pits, the ball pits. Like, never mind. All right, we completely just ruined your joke. I'm sorry, Dakota. We completely
Hey,
decimated that thing. It just got.
I got
It's
it.
just
You
a
got it. That's all right.
downward spiral. Ooh, got some selling coming in here in the Nasdaq. Something just hit. Hogue, check the wire if you got anything.
I'm looking.
22,886 just printed. We got a big market order hitting there. Saw the ES selling off as well. No follow through. But we did get the
Not
selling.
seeing
We saw this
anything
yesterday. Okay,
Tariff?
we did see this yesterday. Big market order hit. Kind of was the precursor to another bigger move. Come right around the corner. Not seeing anything just yet either.
Order
Again, we were
filled.
trading 22,000. Oh, call it 929. 20,929 in the Nasdaq. Bottomed out 40 points lower at 22,886. Just like that. ES
Yeah.
followed suit
Going
as
to
well.
the trusty 1 second chart.
Yeah.
You can see all the spice going on right here.
Oh, social.
3,000, 4,000 contracts traded in a few seconds in the ES.
Okay. What it hits? Someone's got it before.
That looks like a tariff liner.
Yeah, it could be.
But it kind of just shook back where it was. So
Yeah, but we saw this yesterday. Someone's getting some algos, they get it first.
Someone's
Obviously,
got the
there's some.
drop.
Yeah, Citadel, right? Citadel gets that shit first before the rest of us. They get in there, and then it spreads through retailers, something to that effect.
Well, it's probably the algos if they really are assuming. We'll assume the best and say people don't know in advance. They're probably, if we check Truth Social right now,
Yeah. This
Tariff
imagine
concept.
all the algos out there that are scraping the tweets the millisecond they come out to see who's getting hit with what tariff.
It is. Come on. Where is it? Last
someone
trade,
said
2009.
no extension? No extension? Tariffs will not be extended.
22 or 62.75. 62.75 last trade in the ES. 2009 got about 40. Oh, what did you go to the 1 second there, Jack? Did you see what the
I did.
actual
It
what
was
was it?
over a couple seconds. So it was like 1 second here. You can see it right here. I love looking at this
Okay.
malarkey. It's the best version of this art. You can see like starting here. This might be the little front run.
There
Just
we go.
about
Finally.
1,000, 1,400, 1,500. There's about 4,000 contracts that traded in a period of like 4 or 5 seconds there.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the headline. Tariffs will start being paid on August 1st, 2025. There's been no change to this date, and there will be no change. Truth Social. All right, it has started. We'll see if we got anything more coming. Once he starts, typically more comes.
See, we're back in the game, back in play. Let's go.
There might be an expected return. I'm wondering if some of these algos, just to try and front run it, just immediately hammer short when there's announcement like this, and then get out of it as quickly as possible, and then
Mhm.
lose a little bit, lose a bit. But if it's a
See
big
this
one,
happen.
you get rewarded handsomely.
Yeah. We'll see if and we have a cabinet meeting. Okay, we have a cabinet meeting that begins in about 12 minutes. We're gonna see what we can do to get that in here. All right, bring that in. James, bring that in right now. We got a announcement of the tariff date. This is we got a clip of this referring. This is from yesterday, I do believe. Bring this in. Here we go.
Deadline firm now? Is that it?
No, I would say firm, but not 100% firm. If they call up and they say, would like to do something a different way, we're going to be open to that. But essentially, that's the way it is right now, yeah.
Okay, one more time. Can we play it one more time? If you don't mind, play it one more time with the volume. We're talking about
Is
August.
the August 1 deadline firm now? Is that it?
I would
Could you
say
move it
firm.
on?
No, I would say firm, but not 100% firm. If they call up and they say, would like to do something a different way, we're going to be open to that. But essentially, that's the way it is right now, yeah.
Okay, all right. Jack, we've been hearing a little bit about that, but now he's sticking to August 1st. Maybe not, maybe yes. More of the same, Jack, because we're starting to see him come out on the Truth Social. What are your thoughts when you hear that? We keep kicking the can on the deadlines, but he's trying to hold that line of August 1st.
Yeah. Well, they were trying to hold the line of April 2nd and July 9th. I think it's an ongoing deliberation. I would be surprised if any of the tariffs announced so far, like in the last couple of days, are the long-term equilibrium here. I think that there's just going to be, I mean, whatever you feel about Trump, he loves doing deals, and so nothing better than doing deals with 100 plus countries.
Yeah, that's a lot of countries. Let's take a look. Hogue, you ever see something like this with trade wars, deals, trade deals? We see the True Social. I know Hogue's we're searching the wire here. Well, first of all, Hogue, are you seeing anything more on the wire after that?
Yeah, it's. I'm downloading Truth Social right now,
All
but
right, sweet. Go do that.
yeah,
Hogue.
Trump did.
Okay, go do it, Hogue.
Trump did say tariffs will start being paid again on August 1st, and there's been no change to this date. There will be no change. All right. Well, it looks like he's for now holding on to August 1st. Have I seen this before? Not in the same way. I mean, this is really kind of something new in my career in trading. I'm sure that there have been things that have changed in tariffs, but I don't think that they've moved the markets in the same way that they have this time. This is a big deal, and we'll see how it all plays out. We got to play the cards that we were handed.
Yup. All right, go download True Social. But you never thought those words would come out of your mouth. You're downloading social media apps here, Hogue. Go get that. Thank you for that.
Order
Again,
filled.
We got a cabinet meeting starting in about 8 minutes from the president. Just did get a tweet out there. We call it tweets. You guys know what we mean.
I just hope we end up at a place like I'm not fundamentally against all tariffs. I just hope that we get to a place where they're a little bit more specific and defined. Like I'm not a big fan of just blanket tariffs on everything from a country because it's just a consumption tax at that point. Like let's focus in on the industries where we could use the most help and put some tariffs there, and I'll be happy.
Jack for president.
All right, now we've got more songs. We saw this. We see this. The first tweet hits.
The range.
We are now selling. Yeah. You think range here, or do you think this is news driven?
News.
News. Yeah. I think it's a range, but hey, there we go. We're going lower.
I think we test the lows over. I think we test overnight lows in the Nasdaq. I think we could just
okay. Yeah. New lows.
determine the direction of the day.
Once that first tweet comes, you know there's more coming behind that. You get some. All right, damn it. Here we go. 22,845 last new lows in the Nasdaq. 22,000 or 62.63 new lows in the ES. We got some tweets hitting the wires. Truth Social bombs, if you'll hit the wire. So this is all related to the cabinet meeting has begun on the EP. Let's see if we can get this. Yeah, we see it once this gets going here.
Yeah, I'm short one from 865.
Okay. 865, 865.
Yep.
22,865. Okay.
I'm going to add to it and see if I could build a position. I'm going to short, see if we can make a run down towards 800s. The lower 800s that we were targeting from earlier.
Yeah, talking about adding into it. Okay, sounds good. On the 865, Dakota short from 865. Very good.
865. Yep. Right where we're at.
62.67 last trade in the ESJ. Are you flat? Are you still in that Dow trade?
I'm flat. No, I'm flat. I'm flat.
Okay.
We just got our first extension below the initial balance low there in the Nasdaq. We got 5 minutes to see if it rejects.
Yeah, we're skating for those headlines. Academy was preempted with a tweet from the president. Again, tariffs will start being paid on August 1st, 2025. There's been no change to this date, and there will be no change. Again, the clip soundbite we just played said there might be a change, but today we're changing the tone. You never know what's going to happen, but that's why we stay locked in here. 22,845. But once you see one of these, there's more coming.
We're officially 5 minutes from the Trump cabinet meeting, as well as the New York Fed inflation expectations numbers.
Amazon. Hey, Jack, what's Amazon doing? I just caught a headline that their Prime Day, what do they call it? Prime Day spending was down 14%.
So they're getting hammered a little bit, down 2% in pretty short order there. Also, did they announce that? How do people already know it's down 14%? Seems like they would want to keep that a little close to the chest, but let me take a look.
Amazon. All right, we'll keep an eye out for that.
Order filled.
Son of a nice.
Let's get through these lows.
Short from 865, 865. Those 800s. Once this guy starts talking, 841's new lows. Yeah, just let him talk. Let him do the work for you. 62.62 new lows in the ES. Take a look at the ladder here. Pretty thin upside and downside.
I'm sure they track sales by the minute, but I didn't know that was public information.
Gold, 33.05 last trade. Crude, 68.09. 6 cents off the highs. Any new you got it up and run? Any new Any new comments? Any new tweets, if you will, just yet, or just that one? He's in a meeting, so I'm not sure how much more he's gonna be able to pump out there into the ether. But let me know if you do see anything, Hogue. Right now, we did get the party started. Saw about an 80, 85 point sell off in the NASDAQ. And cabinet meeting has begun.
Nothing new right now. Just the beginning of the cabinet meeting. That's all we're seeing here.
Hey, James, Andrew, bring in that other clip we got from Navarro. I mean, they're all sticking to the party lines here. Bring that one in. You hear this one, Jack? Listen to this.
The Hill op-ed on nomination of Jay Powell as the worst Fed chairman in history. And I want to just share with you, the American people, the case against Powell. It's really important to understand that we're in a situation now where the Federal Reserve is holding interest rates artificially high, contrary to the data. They should be at least 50 basis points lower, maybe more.
One more time, please. One more time. Start to finish. One more time. You got to listen to this. This is incredible.
Great piece in The Hill op-ed on nomination of Jay Powell as the worst Fed chairman in history. And I want to just share with you, the American people, the case against Powell. It's really important to understand that we're in a situation now where the Federal Reserve is holding interest rates artificially high, contrary to the data. They should be at least 50 basis points lower, maybe more.
Love it. Is he in the cabinet, Jack? Is he in this cabinet meeting?
Navarro?
Mr. Navarro.
Yeah. He's not a cabinet member. He's like
he's
an
just
advisor who they gotta hide him in a bunker. I want to point out, as they say, regardless of how you feel about Powell, as the worst ever, I would nominate Roy A. Young.
Who?
In fact, Roy A. Young, if you go back to Calvin Coolidge and Herbert Hoover,
Get out of here.
Roy Young was in office
Roy Young.
October 4th, 1927 until August 31st, 1930.
That's the Great Depression.
Yeah. So I don't know. Who's worse?
You make a point. You make a good point. But Powell. But Navarro says Powell worst ever. Who is Powell again, Jack? He is just a trade advisor.
Jerome? Oh, who's Navarro?
Sorry, Navarro.
Yeah,
Who's Navarro?
he's a, I don't know what his exact title is, but he's a trade advisor. I mean, him and Haslett and Lutnick. Although Lutnick's the commerce secretary.
Rat Pack.
I would advise them strongly to let Pheasant do the talking for them.
Yes, indeed. So there you go. We'll see if I was just saying the same shit. We'll see if that does trickle out from this cabinet. Just this is good stuff because obviously they're all in sync with talking points, the messaging, and we'll see if we get some similar. It's awesome we play this just to prep. If we hear this. If we heard this, now we're going to stand and we hear it again out of the cabinet meeting, we might see a similar trade play out. We did see a Truth Social tweet hit, call it what you want, sold off right back. Something about 22,900s. Dakota.
I added, I'm now short 3. Sorry, Andre. Short 3 from 882. Yep, short 3, 882. This is the final trade setup. Stop loss at 913. So see how this one plays out. This is the position I wanted to build.
I like it. Okay. Stay in that. I mean, the market was.
We do officially have now a failed downside auction in both the S&P and in the NASDAQ. Hope it's wrong.
Oh, now we do, Hogue. Oh, thumbs up. Hogue, give me a thumbs up.
Now
Phil.
we do.
Now. Give me a thank you. There it is. Thank you. Okay, I got it.
The range of all ranges.
The range of all
100-point
ranges.
range.
We broke the low that we made this New York session, and we're popping right back up.
Mm-hmm. Hold it, Dakota. Just hold it. All right, let's take a look at some of these tilts. 50%, 50-50 across the board. 50 across the board. And NASDAQ ES, even Dow as well. 79% long. What is that? The buyers are stepping in here. How we
Yeah.
say? Kick the can.
Is it stopped too tight?
Yeah.
No, if it stops me out, I'll get back in if we get another setup. We'll see.
Yeah, come on. Tell me this guy's going to say anything bullish right now. You think anything bullish is coming out of this cabinet meeting? 62.74 last trade in the ES. Crude rolling over just a little bit. 68.01, 68.01 last trade there. About 15 cents off the highs. 77% long in crude right now. Nothing for the headlines.
Order filled.
Jack, these cabinet meetings, are they all in front of the cameras? No, right? They just have Q&A.
I think
they close the
these
door.
are maybe more ceremonial. I mean, I presume that they are in frequent contact with their members of the cabinet.
Gotcha.
Probably
We're on
daily,
WhatsApp.
I guess.
We're on
group
WhatsApp.
chat.
Hello.
Signal.
Yeah. 2009-05, right here against overnight VWAP. Slope of overnight VWAP. You heard Anne Marie mentioning it yesterday. A flat overnight VWAP range, right? Point of chill, point of control.
Point of chill.
I love that so much. Euro close at 27 minutes at the bottom of the hour. Again, we are standing at the ready for anything coming out of this cabinet meeting.
And we were like 2 points away from my stop loss right there for a second.
So close. So close.
So close. I was just like, no. Stop loss is a better entry. That's what I was thinking, Hogue. Stop loss is a better entry.
Always is.
Well, like the 6280 in the ES has been pretty magnetic.
6280. Yes. Okay. Anything on the ES ladder? 200 lots to the downside. Offers are stacked. 100 lots all the way up. On the ask, looking at the ladder, last trade in the ES 62.73. Bottom out of 62 range on the ES. 27 points or so at the high of 62.89. Low 62.62. Let's take a look at range in the NASDAQ for the session. Pretty tight too. 130 points. Low 841. High 972. Go to short. Waiting for the that's out of the cabinet meeting. Jack, if you got more news, why don't you break the important news for the unimportant news from this cat? Yeah, nuggets and tidbits. I love it.
Yeah, that's what this is called, nuggets and tidbits.
Nuggets and tidbits. Yeah,
tidbits. Tidbits. That's a hard word to say. Anyway, let's throw some more shade at the Russell, shall we? It's been 916 days since the Russell 2000 closed at an all-time high. You can see what this chart is showing here is what is the longest it's ever gone. It looks like back in 2000, it took over 1,100 days to reach a new high. Now, even though we all love the NASDAQ, it's better than that. Off the top of my head, I believe following the .com burst, it took the NASDAQ 15 years.
Order filled.
Back there, and it's accelerated since then. 15 years.
It's one of Michael's favorite stats.
Also, not all the shorts are dead yet. If we go to the next one, large speculators, hedge funds are still pressing their bearish bets. The net positioning for S&P 500 futures is the most negative since March 2024.
Really? How's that working out?
Well, remember, they don't trade the same way you and me do, right?
Correct.
We were talking about James Street and those options trade. They're always doing it against something else. So they're looking for some negative exposure to do God knows what in something else, right? But nevertheless, there's still people out there who are short. Lastly, this is a video.
Whoa.
This is them. How would you feel about doing this beta testing of just kicking the shit out of what looks like a child robot? Like there's something deeply uncomfortable.
In so many ways. In so many ways. This kid's a badass though, man. Imagine messing with him on the playground.
Yeah. What do you do for work? Robot child abuse, smack him with chairs and signs and shit.
You do if you were like a cop driving by and saw that and thinking, "Oh my God, what's he doing to that kid?"
Exactly.
It starts
Jeez.
beating everyone's ass. Man, oh
The
man.
real question is, what is the robot doing with the information that it's receiving from getting beat up? Because it's going to fight back
Yes,
eventually. And
humans can't do
Seething,
shit.
I don't want
seething
to.
anger
Uh,
against the human race. He was created in a lab to be beaten with a foldable chair by a nerd.
Beat my boss's
Wow,
ass.
tough life for the robots, but this is the future.
Well, that's
All I
good to
got for
know.
now.
Yeah, yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Love it. That Euro close, 23 minutes. We are waiting eagerly, patiently for some comments out of the cabinet meeting. Let's see much.
I'm still in this
Waiting cabinet
short.
meeting.
I'm still in this short.
Stay short, yeah.
Move your stop.
Yeah, I'm holding my stop right now. I'm watching this price action. I don't want to get out of this short. I don't know if that's a bad thing. I'm not seeing anything that's confirmed that these buyers are stepping in like up in this 900 level. This 900 is a big key level all morning, so I'm holding it right here at these 16s, and we're trying. It might be the wrong play moving it or adjusting it here for a couple points. I don't want to be one of those who, like I said, stop loss is a better entry, right? We'll see. If we get a momentum burst out, then I'm just completely wrong on this. It's one of those
Yeah, I mean,
situations where just trying to chop around this 900 level, like we were
definitely.
chopping. See this morning right here. That's where we were chopping before at these
So
915s. 950.
psychologically, I think what's tough about going short on any of the, no matter what the tariff news is
New
that
lows
we've already
gold.
showed. We talked about the Powell put. Like, there's definitely a Trump put too, where it's like, why even bother going short? Because if it really works out, they'll change it, and we'll go back to all-time highs. I'm done trading tariffs, boys.
As I just say the word, gold. All right, gold 3,300 even. 3,300 even. 32.99.
That was the
last.
trade of the day. Anyone still short gold in the chat? What a trade.
Is gold
Yeah,
still
it
selling
was.
off?
Yeah, new
It's still
lows.
selling.
Just hit a naked point of chill. 32.99.80. That would have been a good target.
Yeah, we got a glossary announcement coming up here in a little bit. We got lingo and glossary. We're changing it up. These things
And
just gotta
weekly
hold.
kickoff low is 32.86 even. See if we get down there and see what happens.
It's like a great target, Hogue.
All right, let's get the announcement in here. James, come on in here with the announcement, because once these
Order
comments start coming out from
filled.
the cabinet meeting, we're gonna be locked in here. We got announcements on Twitter, X, and Lingo. We're talking about Lingo. I'm messing with Hogue about the Lingo. So come on in, James. What's up, my man?
Absolutely. Just two quick announcements here for you. I know we got headlines coming out any minute now. But did you guys know that we stream to more than just YouTube? That's right. We also stream to Twitter, now known as X, and our viewer count is growing every single day there. You can interact with members of the Top Step TV team. Everybody up here you see has a X account, including Coach Dakota and Michael Patak. Learn about new things coming to Top Step before even we know about it. That's right. It is the source of all Top Step breaking news. Check it out. Give us a follow. Check out the show there when you can't watch it on YouTube. And give us a like, subscribe, whatever you call them on there. Retweet us. Just show us you love us. Go to follow Top Step TV on X. And also, Andre was just talking about it, but trader lingo is thrown around so much here on TV, it can be hard to keep up. That's why we here at Top Step TV have created for you the Trader Lingo Glossary. Bookmark it, save it. We're going to drop it in chat and study up. From learning what it means to be a bell to beller or what an iceberg order is, the the Trader Lingo Glossary is there for you. We'll be updating it as the days goes on, and we're looking to bring more education to you in the future by having these definitions appear on screen. But until then, bookmark this page, reference it often, and look up what it means to be shanked. That's my favorite definition on that page. Anyway, back to you, Andre. We'll see you soon for some news.
Wow, shanked indeed. Yes, X. Check out the X. X gonna give it to you. Our numbers on X are going through the roof. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Yes. Gold grinding lower. 295. Pretty much undid the entire move from yesterday. Yes, trade 62. What's in this? Something's in this ladder. Nasdaq. Nope. 62.78 last trade in the ES. Tilt
We got
about
78 up at
60%.
930.
930. Okay.
Yeah.
Still waiting for some comments. Pardon me.
If you see me being quiet for the next few minutes, we got a little bit of yard work going on outside, but they're quick.
I'm watching this. Here we go. We'll see something coming in here. Has the party gotten started? 22,907. Sellers are much eager to jump in there.
That's where we were chopping around this morning. These
Yes, we were, Dakota.
lower 900s. That's why I'm just hesitant to close this trade out
Right,
yet
with-
because I just
with-
started seeing it start chopping, and I'm like, man,
Yeah, but
this is gonna be a
it's,
stop loss is a better entry, so it's better to me just okay. I'm okay with risking a few more points, and let's see how we chop around these 910s, 908s.
All right, Hogue, let me know if you see anything.
It says that Trump is expected to attend the World Cup final on Sunday.
Saw that. Club World Cup, but yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Big soccer fan. Come on, 2009.
World Cup, White House.
2009. Oh, yeah, UFC, man. Wild. Sure, it's gonna look amazing on TV.
Right in the veranda, like we know where they're doing it.
Rose Garden would be the shit.
Right
You
in
know,
the.
horny.
I mean, the Oval Office is the right shape. Do it right there.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I like it. Adrian, who do we got? Who we got? World Cup. Who do we got? People know. We're starting to see some orders hit the tape. There's no more Rose Garden. Did not know that. I've learned a lot. India's not India's the most populous country. Is that true? I mean, there is no Rose Garden anymore. You got rid of the Rose Garden, really?
We're learning a lot. The YouTube chat says.
Is that true? Come on, he no way he got rid of the Rose Garden. It's like the staple of the damn yard, man. That's like, yeah. Man, oh man. Paved over the come on. He paved over the entire thing. Man, oh man. That's wild. Oh yeah, there's a picture of it. He sure did. Adios.
Wow.
All right, let's stay locked in here. Start to see a little bit of sun. Did not know. Start to see a little bit of sun. He's feeling a little twitchy here. 62.75. 50-50 on the tilt. Some comments to Besant will skip the upcoming G20 finance meeting in South Africa. This is it. This is the new trade. Wait for headlines. This is what's new environment. 18 minutes till Euro close. 18 minutes till the Euro close. Something. 6275 last trade. Jay, is everyone? Let's do go around the horn. Everyone flat. I know Dakota's short 3.
Yeah, I'm flat. I'm scanning for a trade right now. Shout out to Yarden in the chat. Said we just had the highest volume candle of the day in gold, right through that 3,300 level. If we get a close above that, I may be looking for a long in gold. High that candle is 330120. It didn't look like exhaustion volume, so we could definitely just get follow through here. So I'm going to be patient, but I'm watching that candle for a potential opportunity.
What's exhaustion? What's exhaustion volume look like, and what does it mean? What does it mean, and what does it look like? And what do you do with it?
So I'm looking at a 3-minute chart, and I have an average. You can see on my chart down here, there's a red line kind of going through the volume. If we get volume that's like 2x or 3x the average, usually that leads to a reversal because that type of volume is not sustainable. This one, it's kind of like borderline exhaustion where it's about double the average, but we could definitely just get some follow through. If we close above that, that's confirmation that some buyers stepped in there. Makes sense where it happened. It happened at that major 3,300 level, and we can kind of see we're getting at that reversal right now. looks like a 3 bar reversal. If this
Mm,
3 minute candle closes above that high, I'll take the long and risk that low.
okay.
Stuff like that.
I like
I'd
Jay,
say
that
it.
that's why
moving
you need
average
the.
of your volume is a 20 session, right?
Uh, it's a 9 Hogue.
9 session. Okay.
Mm.
Just for a little context there. Okay.
Oh, it's a 20 Hogue. You're right.
Just catching a little bit of a bid here. We're in a holding pattern. 13 minutes till Euro close. Starting to see the ladder starting to get a little bit more twitchy. Starting to see a little bit more trading activity coming in on the Nasdaq ladder. Again, gold, the big mover of the day. $50 range.
We're about to get
Trading
a
around
3
the
bar
lows.
reversal on the 5 minute chart down there, too. We
Mm-hmm.
tested to that point of chill. So
Oh, we got.
Andre, we'll talk about it at the later meeting, but I think with the house account, it might be worth during the summer agreeing to place some bracket orders overnight to see if we get some of these levels we want. Could be fun.
At the extremes.
I'm short
Yeah,
from
the extremes.
880.
If there's a level we like,
Uh, for instance, I'll work a bit at this on the 6250s. Then work offers up
Jay,
at
I'm getting some mofo on this long.
A little bit. A little bit. I'm gonna
changing the
put a
entire
bid in
leg,
at
dude.
3302.
We are too.
All right.
Still nothing just yet. Waiting from comments from the president. So bracket orders overnight. Jack, finish that thought. For instance, in the S&Ps, what would we work overnight?
working somewhere in the area of the purple boxes on my chart. You know,
What will those
doing
prices be?
smaller for longer. Like, you know, probably around maybe a little bit above 6250 and give it at least like a 20-point stop and probably try and take it off. If we got 50s, probably around that 80 magnet might be a good place to have it.
Mhm.
So risk 20 to
I
make
like that.
30 or so.
It's the overnight trader in you. I love it.
It is. Well, I
I
get
know
chopped
exactly.
up. Like, to me, it's easiest to trade when I put it on and then kind of slink off into the sunset for a while.
Catch Dakota, Coach Dakota on slow markets. We see that a lot. The overnight trade, the Asian sessions, European sessions, a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
So it's maybe not as fast, but hey, Dakota,
More
you've
consistent
a
for
hell of a
me.
lot of success. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot more consistent. Higher time frames too, right? Because we set it out like, and it's to set it, forget it. I place the trade and then I just turn the computer off, go to bed, wake up. Where's the trade at? Especially now that we are kind of, well, I was gonna say they're past the headlines or the tweets, but we're seeing more consistent markets as of late.
Look at
The
those
Jay, how many
shorts,
yen?
Dakota
2.
just yeah.
Micros?
Long 2 micro
He's a little
gold. Yeah, 3302.
micro gold 3302. You got filled on the bid last trade 3303 coming into about 10 minutes into the European close. Again, we're still waiting for some headlines to come out from the cabinet meeting. Marco's trying to preempt some of these moves. You can just feel it. And Hogue, I think you liked you were going to work a bid as well in the gold, I believe, or you liked the
Yeah, we're long. We're long 3 micros, 3302 and a half, thinking about adding to it.
cool.
Hey, how many are you long?
2 Hogue.
Dakota, what's your average
Bring it on
price?
the screen.
92.
Nice hold, Dakota.
I knew it was worth moving a few points for my stop loss. It literally would have just ticked me out.
Order filled.
Hey,
Would have.
For a
there,
stop
yeah.
loss
That was an
is a better
amazing hold.
entry.
Working bid, Dakota. What are you working downside? I'm gonna hold you to this trade. What you gonna get for the
Lows.
downside? We talked about there's
Yeah,
no home
I'm
runs.
going for overnight lows on a runner. Like I said, 850s would be my first take profit, but I really do think this market could have a chance at look at overnight lows, which is 808s, 800s.
875 last trade. 875 last trade. We got Jay long gold. We got house account Hogue long gold. We got Dakota short the Nasdaq right here on Top Step TV. You're close in about 8 minutes or so. 4,100 people watching all across the globe. Click like, follow, subscribe. Shit's about to pop off. You can just feel it. Get these
Pop
headlines. See a little
off.
downside pressure in the ES and the Nasdaq Dow as well. Crude trading about 6 cents off the highs. High of day in the crude 68.16. Tilt 50-50 across the board. What do we have on tap for the rest of the day? You ask? Did, but I'll answer. Anyways, we got morning recap with Hogue. Then we got trade with Top Step, JD, Gabe, and Cameron H. More Hogue. Lunchbox trading with Anne Marie and D. Those out. They absolutely good stuff out of them. Then Back to the Futures. Gabe, and JD. I like that. Man, combo. Coach J. Actually, you're in a trade. I'm not going to mess with you right now. And then we got Power Hour. Oh, yes. Baron and Jaron joining us on Power Hour with Gabe and myself. Then we got At the Buzzer, Jay and Paul. And, of course, Slow Markets with Dakota. But before we get started, London Open, Aaron Luce, 1:30 a.m. Central Time. Check that out. You want to talk about gold traders. Some of the best around. And then Euro Trade with Deanna. They're doing Euro Trade 3:30 a.m. Central. Then coming back on with us 8 hours later. That is commitment, folks. Head coach of the Chameleonaire coming on at noon Central here in about 90 minutes or so. Stay locked in. Starting to see some push to
Got the Baron and Jaron Jamboree is
Dude,
what I vote to name that segment.
Yeah, Jaron's
Baron, Jaron, and the Country Bears.
Baron, Jaron. They move in together yet? They do that.
I
you
hope
guys know?
so.
Me too. I really hope.
Yeah.
I really hope they did.
Maybe I go out there to Florida and visit them.
Oh yeah. They're damn good traders. We just like to have a lot of fun. Jaron just rescheduled. Maybe they're in the move. They're moving. Maybe the move is happening. Let them get settled into the new digs. I forgot the name of the buddies. Played Nick or something. These bros, the Trader House.
Okay, we should have an over-under of how long it takes them to get a bed frame.
Oh, you just mattress on this floor? You're just going mattress on the floor?
Typical guy move, right? You move in together, or like it took me like 6 months to get a bed frame when I moved.
Yeah, I mean,
and
we'll see.
I don't know if we mentioned this. Sometime down the line, we definitely will do a Top Step event in Florida. But rest assured, it's not going to be while it's summer here. It's going to be when it's cold out.
Oh, yes. That would only make sense. Yeah.
November, maybe.
New highs crude, 68.19, 68.18 just printed. Seeing a little downside pressure here in the Nasdaq, 22,865. Gold crude pushing higher.
Great question in the chat. Andre says, "What changed? I was only looking for 10 points, and now here I am with a bigger trade on." Well, market changed. This morning we were seeing chop consolidation. We had headline hit, market start to move, and this is a setup based off of that and based off what this market's doing. So, yes, I was looking for 10-point moves.
Crude new highs.
Changed. I changed.
Markets have woken up a bit. Starting to see some selling coming in here in the Nasdaq. Nasdaq's got about 19 points to go, 20 points to go. To start seeing these time sales is picking up. We're starting to see some action there. Crude did see a pop. Just new highs, $68.25. Gold grinding higher here as well, 33.05. Still have not seen any headlines just yet, but someone's getting something.
Hogue, how you feeling about this trade?
I'm booling.
Nice.
You're what? Hold on. What'd you say? You what?
What's that mean?
Booling?
Chilling? Booling is chilling out.
I'm chilling like a
booling.
Kids used to Baron?
That was
yeah. Mobbing.
A mob. I'm saying mobbing. Wow.
Mobbing.
Wow.
This is gas. This trade is gas.
Yes, love it, man.
That is gas.
Love it.
So, what did I do here? Let's do a recap.
Thumbs down. He was right though. You did see it. All right, the buyers did give it a shot there.
Honestly, I was betting on this to rebound, but it's not today.
Filled.
So, in the chat, what's wrong with the GME? Well, That would be a long conversation to have.
Here's what
Never
I
rents video
what I
games?
was
Yeah,
I
like
think
they
I
don't have a
can
core business. Their
show
best
you
idea
right
with all
here
that
real
money they
quick.
took from diluting their shareholders was just to buy Bitcoin, which is so cliche these days. It's valued very high. It's been
I love
years.
it.
There's the entire premise is built on the faulty assertion that there's still like millions of people short. They're not. What else you want?
Yeah, there you
GME
go.
rates in the last 5 years, to be honest.
GME brought in so many retail traders. It's incredible. Euro close, 2.5 minutes. Come on, where is this cabinet meeting? Cabinet meeting, still nothing. All right, buyers just got smacked in the face. They're in the ES. They bought it back up to 62.70. Smacked in the face. They sold off about 3 points there. It's heavy. Take a look at the tilt. 82% long in crude oil. We tend to see those heavy tilts in crude. 82%. That's pretty heavy. Gold 75% long. Price
I got in
33.39.
here.
Let's trade 33.04.
I guess in this one
Let's
right
go
here.
close out the way.
+3.
See where they want to take it from here.
And then I added
Top
here.
Step TV.
And then I added here. I added here. I added here.
Profit.
Like
I added
here's how
there.
you know it's kind of dead too. I only got interested in the GME stuff.
And
because
then
the
I
options
added
pricing was
there.
wild for
And
a
then
while.
I
Now, like
took
the
off.
IV on a January
I should do
at
this.
the money call or at the money options
Let's
is like
do
71%. Like it's not even
right.
worth.
What's
It's
intrinsic
not even
value?
worth playing the option.
What's intrinsic
Oh,
value
no.
mean?
Here we go.
Well, let's let this work out for Dakota.
This feels. Come on, they want to pop these stops. You know there's stops down here.
I think that here we go was for the intrinsic value.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
that?
we go.
Dakota?
Yeah, that's
I
what it was
added.
for.
I
That's what
went
was
in
on
it?
here.
Really?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it
Boring.
was.
I held
Implied
through
volatility.
this.
Implied
I
volatility.
added here. I really thought because it
There you
went.
go. It could be for this market though.
It
Too
Now
many
it
closed
is.
acronyms.
right
Too many
above
acronyms.
Now we're
this
going.
dot
We're going
right
up,
here.
Jay. Market's
Too
starting
many
to fall off.
acronyms. I short circuit. Implied volatility. My bad. Intrinsic value. That's completely something
Open,
different.
close.
Oh my. Oh, that's
Implied
gonna,
Right?
volatility used. I was like, I don't know if I knew that.
And
I'd
then
do
this one
something,
was
but,
the kicker.
that's gonna live with me for a while.
If
For a
I would
while,
have been
back
awake
when I was in it, there was like
and alert,
700%.
I could have
implied
had gotten
volatility for,
the
like, without options. So
the 5
That's not
out
good.
right here, and I
Like
would have
buying
been
it.
much better than where I ended. Because
Euro
here's
close, 20 seconds. Let's see
a
if we can
tip
get
for
this
you.
thing going. Hogue, we got an upside target in this gold trade. I know
This
you
one
and,
closed
Jay are
below
both long.
the
Upside target.
Bollinger Band. This one closed below the Bollinger
Jay,
Band.
you have an
That's why
upside
I
target
added
in
it.
gold.
And this
you
one
got your
opened
long
above the Bollinger Band.
33.12.
And look how far it went.
29 UAP.
I like that even better, Hogue.
But then the next one
one
over,
of these days, Andre, when it's
open
slow,
here, close
I've been
right
flat
here,
GME for a long time.
at
I will go
the
through
bottom
every
of the
trade and results.
first Bollinger Band.
Happened right around this time last
Okay,
year, didn't it?
and then he had a huge wick
It was like a July to
all the way down
July to
here.
December. I
Look
believe.
at that.
Ended up being like a 6-month trade.
Yeah, it was incredible. The trade that the first 2 days though, you took
But
some heat, right? Weren't you
I'm
like
okay
sweating
with
the
that.
first 2 days or something? You were like,
Yeah, I was sweating.
got into
I never
got
got
into
too much trouble, but there was one night where I was like, oh, shit.
in too deep. Euro closed. Euro has closed. This one, we're gonna go there. Do this. 62. All right, James. All right, come on in. Let's do it. Let's get some of the news you need. James, come on in. Let's get some good news. The markets are holding tight. Get in here, James. We can do this thing.
You're sitting around just waiting, but you know, if you want the markets to move, start the news.
Exactly what I was
I'm
doing.
talking, they love to interrupt. Double dose of robot news today. Jack showed the beratement of that child-looking one. Meanwhile, the army is introducing the raddest thing I've ever seen. Robot coyotes.
Excuse me.
Sick.
Hell yeah.
What do those do?
Bullish.
They chase
Yeah.
birds, Andre.
So when I
They
saw
chase
this,
birds for
I
a
added
while. The government just
1,
bought so
2,
many
3,
that
but
shit
I
can
added
shoot
like
freaking rockets
in
out of their
this area.
freaking eyes,
That's
man.
why I used the box.
These things are going to become absolute
I
dominating
used the
killer
box
machines. Or they may just continue to chase
for
away good dogs
guidance,
from Air Force bases. Because,
right?
believe it or not, wildlife is one of the biggest problems for aviation and maintaining a
I
human
used the box
airfield.
for
You
guidance.
remember one
I
Sully,
used the
he put a
box for
plane down in
guidance.
the Hudson River
1,
because
2,
of
3,
birds.
bam,
No one ever talks about
right
all
in
those
there.
geese that lost their life that day. All
And
we
then
remember is he
the
saved
next
the plane.
candle over,
Ugh. Anyway,
I added
these things
some
look pretty
more,
rad. I'm pretty sure I saw them on
right?
stage of a 303 concert once when I was in college.
And
But now
then
it's my dream job. I want to be the guy who gets to go kart these
so
things
that
around
brought me
and
up
chase
to
the
about
birds away.
14, and I sold everything right on this
Nice.
one.
Seems like a pretty
Who's gonna
sweet
do
This
the
one
news?
Are you James?
I'll
Who's
do
gonna
it
do
at the
the
same
news?
time.
open,
I'll
low,
What,
get in the
sharp
high,
golf cart.
boom,
lasers under
sold
people's
there.
heads.
Yeah, you got it, Hogue.
Sick.
My next story out of Minneapolis, Gabe. You know anything about this? There's a neighborhood that sharpens a giant pencil every year. And the crowds get larger and larger. This year, over 1,000 people turned up to this small town in Minneapolis to sharpen a giant number 2 pencil. The
Weird.
story behind it is that the pencil used to be a
This
tree.
right here
One
is
year, a
showing me
storm damaged it so
long.
badly. Everyone in this town had nothing
Honestly,
better to
it's
going
showing me
on, but they were
long.
also heartstruck that this tree
Let's
got
look
hurt
at the
by a
volume.
storm. They decided to convert it into something recognizable, something
Mm,
fun. What's more fun and recognizable than a pencil?
67.
I guess. But yes,
So
every year they bring
Midwest.
it and they sharpen it, and like a real pencil, it does get shorter every single year. The people behind the project say that's the point. Art is life. Art isn't meant to be here forever. You're meant to interpret it however you wish. They even say they love everybody who comes out to look at it, even the haters, because even though if their hateful reaction may be true, you know it's genuine. And guess
You know what?
what?
You're
That's
right.
how we feel about you, chat.
That's
That was my connection here.
well
like
done,
that.
James. Well done.
What?
It's
Yeah,
genuine.
that's well done.
And
What did they
finally,
sharpen it with again?
What's that?
that's coming. That's something good.
Okay.
They sharpen it with chainsaws. I assume it's a huge tree, right? They gotta climb that scaffolding, cut it all down. I actually know truly. The article doesn't mention it, but they just talk about going out there. But mark this down. Next year, we'll send Gabe out there. He knows that area. He's from there. We'll have him report on the giant pencil sharpening. Now, my next one. Recently I talked about the newest tourist destination in North Korea. I found another spot for you to book. The Jonestown Massacre site is opening up to tourists. I think you have to bring your own Kool-Aid, but for $650, you too can have the one-in-a-lifetime overnight experience. The Jonestown Massacre site. Who doesn't love a good cult? I think the bigger question here is, how do you guys feel about opening up sites like this to tourism? At first, it might seem bad, but I want to remind you, people already toured Chernobyl. They toured Holocaust camps. They toured Ground Zero in New York City.
Oh boy, James, where are you going with this? I'm not saying
I'm just
shit.
saying. Do you think it's good or bad? I think it's questionable. I don't know if you should be profiting off death and destruction like this, but
Let it hang there.
they are.
I suppose it's a matter of respect. The one thing I will say about it, it was Flavor Aid. It was not Gatorade. And that was a very bad day for whoever was in charge of Gatorade's marketing. Or Kool-Aid's, I'm sorry. It was Flavor Aid.
Who was in charge of the Kool-Aid?
It's like coronavirus, like Corona beer when coronavirus was going on. They just got absolutely smoked.
Okay, so we're
Yeah,
done for
sometimes
today.
you're,
But
dealt the cards of
quite
fate.
honestly, I see
If
it
everybody wants to go, let us know what it's like. Be
ending
respectful.
higher
Anyway,
today,
that's the news for today.
somewhere around here.
Back to you, Andre. Hopefully, we'll have some news out of Trump soon. We're
Because
watching The
look,
Wire. As soon as he starts talking, and as soon as there's an official
rejection,
report, we will drop
rejection,
it in, we'll let you
rejection,
know.
rejection,
Not
rejection,
news.
rejection.
That was not
Let
news.
me do this.
That was just. Oh, James, you're not done. Get back here, James. Get your ass back here, James. Where do you think you're going? Get back here, James. We got more. You're not done.
Rejection,
Over here.
rejection,
Dropping that.
rejection. So this is
Oh,
the
okay, he'll be back.
the
All right.
resistance right
he
here,
gone. He gone. All right, let's take a look at these prices. 22,882.
regardless of
Last
whatever.
trade in the Nasdaq. We Dakota short from 892, and we got the 6271 last trade in the S&Ps. Gold. We got house account long from 3303. Got
Last time I
Coach
traded
J long
was.
from 3302. 3302.
Oh no.
Last trade
Hold on.
3305. Got about 20 minutes left here in fast markets. Fast markets. Here we go.
I moved my stop into profit on this trade, Dre. We were talking about volume before.
Yeah.
I do like that volume exhaustion that we had at those lows, but there's kind
Since
of
the 19,
really no follow through on this move.
the 19 was the last time I
if
traded in
you know,
my
break
real
even
account.
plus a little bit, I'll take it. If this wants to just sell off here,
So we
I
got
don't need to take a loss on a
5,
lack of follow through trade. This is a much
6,
different trade than the
7,
one we took
8,
this morning.
9, 10.
Yeah, and we're not getting a lot
11,
of follow
12
through in the
days.
Nasdaq yet either. I mean, it's
This is
we had the move that I was looking for. Well, as I'm speaking, maybe we'll get
What's up,
it.
crude?
but-
New highs. Crude new highs.
Wow, crude is
6831.
I'm gonna stop the
6831.
recording.
Just
Nice.
dropped about 14
Right
cents
here.
or so.
It's gonna
See if we can
play
push this
around
in.
here. It's more or less
Where are the comments? Where are the comments? We're waiting. Holding pattern. Marcus
right
waiting.
here.
Get bored.
Yep,
Stay locked
FOMC
in.
minutes tomorrow.
Yeah, FOMC minutes tomorrow. Sounded like they were starting to see some difference in opinions. Dovish, hawkish, like Jack said the other day, the jobs report pretty much sealed the deal for a July pause. But hey, you never know. Obviously, Navarro wants a
something can
50.
always happen.
Navarro wants a 50-point cut. He's asking for the worst, the worst Fed governor of all time. So I mean,
they understand, right?
With
That,
Barron.
like interest rates for like mortgages and stuff are decided on the open market, right? It's not like the Fed's just being mean and saying, "Hey, we're keeping interest rates high." The worry is that if you start lowering rates now, you'll actually lead the longer end of the curve to go higher in yields, in which case you're just F.
you think they're thinking about the long end of the curve, Jack? They just want the stock market to go higher. That's
As
all.
it
That's
is.
why they want. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna
Yeah.
stop the recording.
rest of them
I'm
are just like,
gonna
oh,
come back
rates
in
go
the
low, stock
in the
go up.
afternoon.
All right,
I'm
silver
really
going up,
mad
crude
because
pushing higher,
I resetted my
$68.31
account.
in the midst of a rally here, about
Look
25
how
cents
dumb
push higher
this
here in the
is.
last few
I
seconds or
reset
so. We got
the
house
account,
long gold. We got Coach J long gold.
but
short
it
Nasdaq
left
right
me
now.
with this
New highs,
balance,
crude. Crude
the
is
balance
pushing
that I
higher.
had
$68.45 last
previously
trade.
from here.
We were just trading 68
From
bucks
here.
20 minutes ago. About 45
So
cents there.
it's terrible
Typically when I see one of these
because
markets move,
look,
something moves big.
this was the
What
last
follows?
time
Why did it
I
move big?
traded,
What's
right?
to follow? We'll figure that
Last
out.
night,
We'll wait and see here. Still
July
nothing out of the
8th,
cabinet meeting.
I reset it. I
Crude wants
reset
to
the
cut
account,
the view up.
but it gave
Gold
me
likes, the gold trade
the
up to a VWAP.
same
That would be 33.27. Coach J is looking a little bit more modest. Target 33. Coach J, when you said this trade is not like the one
that I
morning,
had.
correct. The one you took
This
earlier
is-
was instant winner.
I was
You're instantly in the money.
under the impression that this
that
will
is, yes.
go up again
So
to
just add water.
50.
Just
Yeah,
add water.
pretty
So I
much.
will
Just
have
add water.
2,000 to play with,
100%.
and it didn't, man.
It's
I'm
just the lack
really
of volume.
pissed off
This
because
trade is just going to
that's
take longer to
50
get to that target
bucks
unless we see the volume pick up.
that I worked for, that I
That one
saved
had pretty
for,
consistent volume the
and
entire
then
way down.
this bull crap happens.
Doesn't mean it's
So
not going to go. It's
I
just going to take a little bit longer.
I only got
you don't see that volume
70
pick up.
bucks to
This crude
play with.
move is pretty
That's
insane right now.
ridiculous,
Yeah.
man.
Looking at 72 half as a targeting crude at some point. Maybe
That's
this week.
why I stopped
Okay.
trading right here, because I had $70.
Still
Point in
nothing.
case,
So
we go to my screen
for
real quick.
anybody
Something-
watching, when it's the due date,
Go to my screen
just
real
make
quick.
sure
You can
you kill
see
it.
I got the
Either
10-year yields up.
you
Okay?
kill it. You kill
This-
it so when this doesn't happen
we
to
are.
you. Because it's
September
pathetic.
24. What
I'm
happened
paying
September
50
24? The Fed
bucks
cut rates by 50
for a
basis
new
points.
month,
What happened to the 10-year yield?
and the new
It
month
went up.
brings
Then they cut
brings
again.
me in with
December
70 bucks to
24.
play
It
with.
went up. Now,
When
this
I
was
say
once
to
Trump
play
was
with
elected, so
is
there's a little bit the Trump trade was descended higher because of all the tariff talks.
if I hit
Haven't cut
70
anymore.
bucks,
We've been coming down.
my account
Okay?
will be closed.
Cutting interest rates at the Fed funds level does not necessarily mean, in fact, I would argue that it probably is not good for lowering rates where they matter for most people, which is in
Man,
the 10-year range.
this
Where's
is
my
not
Fed talk?
nice.
I agree. I understand what you're saying. Yes.
So I cannot
Rates needs
to Jack nothing with $70 that you kill the account, you kill the account, you kill the account, you kill it, you kill it.
They're still low.
And you start over with 2,000. You pay $50. You start over with 150,000 account.
People love interest rate talk.
Not,
it's just hot and heavy.
Yeah.
not this, man. This is
what Jack and I started on.
No,
so
not
hey,
good.
just so you guys know, fixed income moves everything. Charger, it's all about this. It's all about debt. Okay, so that's why it matters. We're looking at equities and stuff. I know future's fun, but it's all about rates. Rates move everything.
This is the interest rate on the 10-year going back to 1987. Okay.
Oh boy.
Where we are now is
I'm gonna
kind of the
cut
range
it.
we were in between 2003